Halo pemirsa, langsung dari studio IDX Channel Jakarta, saya Digiatkan hadir dalam Market Review, program yang mengupas isu-isu penggerak perekonomian Indonesia. Dan jangan lupa live streaming kami dapat Anda saksikan di idxchannel.com. Dan pemirsa, mari kita ikuti Market Review selengkapnya. Yeah, the Indonesian Stock Exchange has a function to carry out literacy programs related to investment and financing through the Indonesian capital market to various segments of society for the sake of Indonesian economic growth. Increasing the number of literacy activities, inclusion, and capital market activities will continue to be intensified to achieve this. So one of the terms that is very familiar in capital market industry is IPO. An IPO, or initial public offering, is the term for the first time that a private company sells shares of its stock to the public on a stock exchange. The event means that the company has transitioned from private to public ownership. Of course, this is one of the strategy of company to expand its business. And what are the benefits of IPO and what are the inspirational stories behind it? To dig deeper on this, I'm going to have a conversation with President Director of ITSEC Asia Tbk, Mr. Patrick Rudolph Danasir. Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick, for joining us here on Market Review. How are you?
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right.
Thanks for the invitation, and we are more than happy to share our story with your viewers and with the public, because we are very proud Indonesian company to be now on the stock exchange for more than 18 months already.
Sure, we need this talk show. So I'm going to have the segment to know actually CYBR as the stock code of the it's like
that's
company.
Correct, yes.
To know the company better. So can you explain just a little bit about the company's core business model?
Well, we are a cybersecurity company formed this year 15 years ago in Indonesia, and we are very proud we are a cybersecurity company from Indonesia who went international, different to the latest trends where a lot of companies are coming here and setting up businesses here. We really made a point of growing our local business so much that we could expand our business internationally. Of course, a cybersecurity company at our size with over 350 employees globally, we not only provide one service, but we actually provide the full suite of cybersecurity services, including security operation centers where we monitor major banks and telcos, managed security services where we actually help companies in their day-to-day affairs with their cybersecurity needs, because there's a shortage of talents in cybersecurity industry. So for us to really collaborate with local companies which are large or medium sized, it's very important to get them to be secure, because the threats are, as we can see from the news and newspapers, they're not getting lesser, they're actually getting more.
Yeah.
So really we focus on providing an end-to-end solution for our clients for over 15 years. We have over 200 clients globally, and we are very proud from an Indonesian standpoint to go internationally and serve clients in more than 15 countries by now.
Yeah. What you explained just now is leading me to have this urgency to ask you the following up question, of course, about the Indonesian market. Why Indonesia? Why is it interesting, of course, from the point of view of CYBR?
A very good question. Thank you very much. I think for us, it really felt the right time and place to do an IPO, an initial public offering. Obviously, there's several advantages, and we have studied several stock exchanges around the world. And obviously also for us, because most of our revenues and most of our employees are Indonesia, it really at the end also triggered down that Indonesia is and will be the best place for a public offering for us. Other than that, I think the Indonesian stock market offers various advantages compared to others. I think the strategy to include more investors, to grow the investor base, is also something where we felt is very attractive for us. And Indonesia is one of the biggest markets in Southeast Asia. Hence,
talking about the market, so can you explain more on that? Why Indonesia is one of the potential market, especially coming from your point of view?
I think the sheer size of the domestic economy is definitely an interesting part. 80% of our employees are here. 80% of our revenues at that time were Indonesian-driven revenues. And also, I think the whole setup of IDX and the professionalism you have is in par with any other stock exchanges. So we felt that we are very comfortable to list here. Access to capital market in Indonesia is very important to us. And it's also a commitment to grow further in Indonesia and not elsewhere. And I think we are very proud to make that commitment. And we were extremely happy with the journey we had. It was really a very organized process, and we could not have been more happy to get this done. And all the timelines have been met. And I think that was definitely something where I would also like to tell this to other companies, that listing in Indonesia is definitely something which should be on their roadmap.
Okay, the viewers and of course me also getting know better of CYBI right now, because you explained the core business of it and some of the product or services that have been presented to the market. So can you explain more on the product or services that have been presented to the market that so far are well absorbed by the market in Indonesia?
I think the latest and I think most interesting development in terms of products and services is that about 2 years ago we have taken the initiative to produce cybersecurity solutions and software and products in Indonesia. Our R&D team is maybe one of the biggest in Indonesia in cybersecurity. It's over 40 people strong, filled with Indonesian talents. As I said at the beginning, it's very difficult to find talents, but we definitely have them. And I think the advantage we have and the solutions we come out is really in collaboration with our clients. So the client needs and demands have translated in these products. And the IntelliBron product range is now covering 3 items. I think that's very important. So we want to democratize a little bit access to cybersecurity solutions. So we felt producing cybersecurity solutions in Indonesia will have, of course, a price advantage than buying solutions from overseas. It's really addressed to the market directly. It follows the rules and regulations and requirements of the market. And it's run by Indonesian people. So we're very, very close to the clients and became very close to the clients. So we have one solution which covers the smaller and medium-sized enterprises, which are overlooked, mainly because of budget constraints, lack of talents. So we really try to help getting more people savvy in cybersecurity, getting them to use the right tools. The second one is threat intelligence. So basically, act before something happens. So find out before something happens.
Preventive actions.
Exactly, it's always easier. And the last one is really B2C, which is rolling out very soon, where we actually start to secure mobile phone devices, which, of course, this is a main concern for companies because they let people bring their own devices to their own infrastructure. So I think these 3 things will cover our expansion plans quite nicely. It's also the use of proceeds from the IPO is actually going into this development.
Sure, interesting. Since you are mentioning SME, so the interesting narrative is about how to make the cybersecurity services becoming more inclusive. So it's not only belong to one big or some of the big companies, but it also belong to small, medium enterprises, as you mentioned before. So what do you think about this narrative and how important this segment actually? We're going to continue that. We're going to talk about that later on because we need to have a break right now. Dan pemirsa, tetap bersama kami saja, kami akan segera kembali. you for staying with us. And before I'm continue the dialogue with Mr. Patrick Rudolph Danasher, the President Director of PT ITSEC Asia Tbk, or with the stock code CYBR, I'm going to present you some data. The first one is benefit of IPO in Indonesia Stock Exchange, as you can see on the screen. So these are the list of benefits of IPO. The first one is unlimited funding, increasing company's value, improving company's image, encouraging employee loyalty, family business succession, and tax incentive. And then the second graphic will be the benefit of IPO at ITSEC Asia Tbk, or CYBR. And of course, the access to capital through the stock market, fostering professionalism, improve corporate image, and increase in company value. And then the third graphic that will be presented about the strategic initiatives of PT ITSEC Asia Tbk, or CYBR. The first one in product-wise, actively pursuing strategic initiatives, including the development of innovative IntelliBron, which is this is one of the product that had been presented to the market. And then from the subsidiaries side, the establishment of new subsidiaries to target niche markets. It's like cyber economy, and of course from the digital transformation side also to streamline operations and improve client delivery through IT security solutions. So before we continue to talk about the benefits of IPO that had been done by CYBR in 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue the question or the topic that had been asked to you before the break. Is about the SME, the inclusive of the cybersecurity as a service. So it's not only belong to big companies, it is also belong to small medium enterprises.
Exactly. So I think to address the issue of cybersecurity resilience, it would be a wrong strategy to only focus on bigger enterprises. Because if you see the demographics in Indonesia, there is a vast majority of people working in SMEs. There's a vast majority of SMEs being formed every day. To exclude this and these companies not having access to cybersecurity services would not help the whole country, would not help even the bigger enterprises. So including from bottom up every single company, or as many as we can, is really helping the country, is really helping the whole industries to be more resilient. And that only will work with automation, deliver the products on the ground in Indonesia and developing them here. Because the budgets and funds available to invest in cybersecurity in Indonesia are based on Indonesian standards and not international standards. So you have to have a trade-off there, and we really try to help not only the bigger enterprises, but everybody in the country to be more resilient on cybersecurity.
Sure, this is one of the important sectors to support the economic growth in Indonesia. So talking about IPO as the journey, so what are the preparations that had been done before CYBR done an IPO in 2023?
Very good question. I think it starts a lot with internal discussions. In identifying what is the right way forward. Also, timing is quite important for an IPO. I mean, of course, we all know the stock markets are not only going up, but they're also going down.
What makes 2023 becoming the right timing for you?
I think it was in terms for us, we were just growing the company extensively fast, to access to capital markets, to implement more stringent processes internally. It also forces you to be ready for an IPO. I think it's a good housekeeping work, which cannot be said how important that is. So I think the whole process for us was a quite exciting process. It also helps internally. People are very motivated, despite the workload which you get on top of your day-to-day job. I think the finance team can sing a song. It's quite a heavy lift to get everything prepared the way it has to be. But the reward of an IPO is surpassing all these efforts you do. And I think publicity is very important, corporate governance is very important, and I think it's also important for our clients to know that we adhere to all the rules and standards in Indonesia, and of course with the oversight of IDX and OJK, that really helps also to build extra trust on the level of the client side, and it gives you access to capital market, which is quite important.
So
for
those
a company.
are some of the benefits that had been gained by the company when you already done the IPO. So what are the other things as being considered as the benefits that had been gained by the company?
I think publicity,
IPO, of course.
Publicity, as an example, is very important. Corporate governance is very important. I think access to capital market is important. Obviously, if you grow a company the way we have grown our company with almost 50% growth rates every year, it's very important to at some point have fuel in your tank to grow and continue this growth, and especially trying to be a more inclusive company to provide cybersecurity services to smaller enterprises. Also, some capital requirements have been there and well spent because these products are ready and used by the market. So I think overall the journey was very hectic, very time consuming, but the reward of an IPO in Indonesia outweighs any hurdles you might ever face before the IPO. So
IPO is one of the mechanism to raise the fund for the company itself. One of the goal of it, just to expand the business. So actually talking about the fund that had been raised from the initial public offering, especially coming from your point of view, what are the the fund raised from the IPO will be used for what project or what expansions?
So we spent about 87% in that tune of capital requirements which you had in the company, and we put aside about 13% into growing the company. So in capital expansion investments, which we are very proud that this is really working out. I think going forward, most of our revenues should come from our software and solutions which we have developed in Indonesia. I think the market is ready for it. The Indonesian talent pool is getting bigger, so it's also for us, enables us to really produce cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions in Indonesia for Indonesian market, and we want to go beyond. So I think, and that of course requires a certain amount of capital, a certain amount of publicity, and that really made us decide in 2022 at some point to really push forward to get the IPO done in 2023, which was quite a success story for us so far.
Sure, interesting. So what are the company's future business expansion plans, or the that you guys have in a pipeline?
So far, I think the interesting parts are we have set up ITSEC Academy, where we want to actually include not only now services and products, but also training to a vast majority of people. We have analyzed the market. We have seen that there's a lot of people selling courses, but not really having an academy where professionals can go to an academy and getting trained. We are really putting a lot of efforts there, because training people is helping and creating a whole new ecosystem of talents, and that will help not only us, but that will help the whole industry, that will help the whole country by having more trained people working in cybersecurity. Of course, the resilience will increase. And then, of course, what we discussed already before is that further investments in our own software and products, these two elements are definitely key. Also, we are hosting events very regularly to really address the issues and exchange information and get people to learn more on current risks and current issues which there are in the market.
So talking about the IT talent, that is actually really important, especially when it comes to make the industry grow. Coming from startup industry, that the business related to the digital sector, the problem is always like how to get the talent, because we have a very limited talent. What do you think about that as the challenge from the point of view of player of the from the IT industry right now?
Very good question. I think you hit the head on the nail. I think one of the major concerns is really that these issues have to be addressed holistically.
Yeah.
It cannot be only reliant on one party or one company or one university. It has to be a holistic process where a lot of efforts have to be spent on training, recruiting, and that will create a whole ecosystem of talents and will ultimately create a talent pool. Now, we want to play one part of that, but as I said, it's a holistic approach. Indonesia has 300 million mobile phone subscribers, plus minus. Yeah. No need to discuss how important cybersecurity is, right?
Yeah.
Really get a lot of agencies, universities and companies, opinion leaders to actually work together and get training off the ground. I think it's very, very important.
Yeah, that is also very important, especially when it comes to the transition to the digital era. So this is going to be the last question. So what are the events coming up in the future?
Well, we are very proud to host on 26th to 28th of August the largest cybersecurity event for the critical infrastructure. Mm-hmm. It's not exclusive to critical infrastructure. I think it has something to offer for everyone. I think everybody who has the time and is working somewhat related into cybersecurity should attend. We have international top speakers attending the event. We are showing solutions, we're showing issues, and it's very important to share information and share insights. And it's for 3 days. It's quite a large event, and we are very proud that we can host that in Indonesia and Jakarta, and people from overseas are coming to attend. So
interesting.
That again is a commitment to the country, a commitment to Indonesia, and I think this is the right way forward.
Once again, to make the platform or make the industry inclusive for everybody. Mr. Patrick, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully
thank
to
you very
see
much.
You very soon, and good luck for the growth of the business of CYBR. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Dan Bursa, tetap bersama kami. Usai jeda kami akan kembali dengan pembahasan tema yang menarik terkait dengan kinerja ekspor di tengah penetapan tarif resiprokal 19%. Tetap bersama kami.